Good afternoon everyone. Today I'm going to make some ramen. It's like it's a Japanese noodle soup with you know, it has your eggs, meat, veggies. Yeah, so it's got pretty much all the food groups in there. So what I'm doing here is chopping up some garlic. Yeah, I know I use garlic quite a lot in my recipes. So yeah, just sort of make the video more interesting if I'm, you know, if I'm showing you how that I'm, you know, doing some work and not just pre-chopping the garlic. Maybe I should do another video, like just on how to you know, chop up garlic. And, yeah, similar to my first video, you know, when I did the onion. Okay. Okay, now the first thing we're going to do is marinate the chicken. So, to the side, get a large mixing bowl, and we're going to need 4 pieces of chicken thigh fillets. Alright, we need to add the chopped garlic that we've just cut up. And then we need 2 tablespoons of mirin, 1 tablespoon of dark soy sauce, 1 tablespoon of light soy sauce, and we need a 1/4 teaspoon of some cayenne powder. Okay, so what we're going to do, get the wooden bowl and, not the wooden bowl, wooden spoon, okay, wooden spoon, sorry. Alright, and then we're going to mix all the ingredients together. Make sure that that the chicken is very well coated. Yeah, want to get all the flavour from all the ingredients like that. Yeah, never hurts to mix in for a bit longer. Extra garlic there. Right, so there we go. Now we're going to refrigerate this for at least an hour, so you know all the flavours can soak in. Alright. Alright, so while we're waiting for the chicken to marinate, we are going to prepare some of the other ingredients that will go into the ramen. And what I'm doing here is I'm peeling and I'm going to slice this 2 inches of ginger root. Yep, I've used this before in my one of my old recipes, well, older recipes that I've made in the past. still can't get over the fact that ginger is actually a root. I was surprised when I first discovered that fact. Okay, that should about do it. And we need to slice this ginger. Okay, not too thick, but not, well, try and get it as thin as you can. But yeah, just be very careful not to cut your fingers. That's the most important thing, safety first. Okay. And be careful it doesn't slip out of your fingers. Okay, so that's our ginger sliced up. Okay, then we've got 4 spring onions that we're gonna trim and cut in half. Okay, so what we're gonna do is now like chop them. You know, as thin or as thick as you want. Yeah, do these ones too. Okay. Now we're going to need a packet of shiitake mushrooms. Okay. And always make sure that when you prepare the shiitakes, that we cut the stems off, or just rip them off. The reason being is that if we do leave these on when we cook them, it'll be very tough to eat. You know, like a tough steak. So that's why we're gonna rip the stems off. You can use like the dry variety, but yeah, here I'm going to use some fresh shiitake. This one's a bit stubborn. Okay, I know what we'll do. Bit of problem solving, just tear the cap off. Alright, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut them in half, like that. I love mushrooms, they're so yummy, but yeah, there are people out there that don't like mushrooms, and that is perfectly understandable. I didn't like them myself when I was a kid, so yeah, it can grow on you. Then we need a bunch of bok choy. Quarter it I've always loved bok choy. It just gives many Asian dishes a really, really nice texture, nice feature to it. Yeah. Good way to get your nice leafy greens in. There we go. And what I've got here is a Japanese white radish. Okay, we're going to chop this up too. Well, I'm only going to use half. Peel it. Radish is, you know, something that you need to get used to. You know, you got used to the taste, because it's got a bit of a slight bitter kind of spiciness to it. If that makes sense. Then we chop it up into slices. Give this a try. It's slightly bitter, similar to like Brussels sprout, but it's not overly, you know, unsatisfying, if that makes sense. All right, and then we're gonna need. I'm using here 6 cloves of garlic. That's the biggest I can get. So around about 4 to 6, and just you know, chop the ends. Okay, and then peel the garlic. Okay, this one's a bit stubborn, but yeah, yeah. Once they've all been peeled, set them aside. I'm not going to stand here showing you how it's garlic is peeled. It'd be too boring, so yeah, see you in a few seconds. Alright, so what I've got cooking here is like, you know, a packet of ramen noodles. So it's like about roughly 300 grams worth. Yeah, so we're going to boil this, and yeah, then we are going to set aside. Next we're going to make the glaze for the chicken. So I'm getting a bowl, and I'm going to use 2 teaspoons of brown sugar, and I'm going to use 2 tablespoons of dark soy sauce. One. Man, this stuff splatters everywhere. 2. then we're just going to give that a good stir. Preferably until all the sugar's dissolved. There we go. Alright, so the ramen's all ready. And then what we do is bring it to the sink. Sorry, just trying to find a decent cameraman. So I have to excuse the crudity of the camera work. And pour it into the colander to drain. Okay, so we're going to set this aside. Alright, now I've got here a sheet of baking paper, which I'm putting over this oven tray. Because now the hour is up. And we are going to put the marinated chicken pieces onto the paper, the smooth end face down, like that, and try to space them out. Okay. There we go. And now we're going to put this in the oven for about 15 minutes. Right. Now, in a large saucepan, such as this, okay, we're going to need 4 cups of chicken stock. 4 or 5, but I'm using 4. Okay, 1/4 cup of light soy, 1/4 cup of more mirin, we need the ginger and garlic we prepared earlier, and the spring onions that we've just chopped up. Okay, and then what we're going to do is set the heat for medium high, and we're going to cover. Okay, now it's been brought to a boil. We're going to reduce the heat to medium. Okay, and that's going to have to be on the that medium heat for about 25 minutes. Okay. Oh, look at this, everyone! It's Madison. Hello. What you up to? Hey? What are you doing? Huh? Oh, you want some food, do you? Well, you just ate. I'm sorry, Madison, but yeah, you're not allowed to overeat. All right? Oh, big stretch. Oh, she's a beautiful cat. Yeah, you're going to have to forgive me. I just noticed that there's some missing footage of how to, do the chicken. Right, so we need to put the chicken in the oven for 15 minutes at, at approximately 180 degrees. And once that 15 minutes are up, we need to pour on the glaze that we prepared earlier, and we need to return it to the oven for another 15 minutes. Now I don't know what happened there, but I could not find the footage. Okay, now the 15 minutes are up. We're going to take the chicken out, and we're going to let that sit. I'm going to set that aside now for it to cool. Don't worry, that's just the sauce that's ended up on the sheet, and it's not going to be part of the final product. So don't worry too much about that, folks. Okay, time's up. That means we drain the broth. So here in a sink, so it doesn't spill. Right, we got a large bowl, and we got the colander, and we're going to drain the ramen broth into here, because we don't really want the chunky bits in there. There we go. Looks like coffee. Yeah, I know it's a waste of good ingredients just to make the broth, but that's how we do it. Alright, so once that's all drained off, we are going to return the broth to the saucepan. Like that. You're gonna have to forgive the lack of light. And then, yep. Okay, that's better. Got some light. And now what we're going to do is add the shiitake mushrooms that we chopped up earlier. Throw it into the pot. Okay, just pop that aside. And then, yep, we're going to cover, and we're going to simmer again on medium heat for 5 minutes until the mushroom's soft. Alright, so while we're waiting for the broth to cook for another 5 minutes, we are going to start slicing up the chicken that we let cool for a bit. So slice like that. Should be easy to cut. Just glides through. Okay. I'm not too good at presentation, but yeah, I say as long as it tastes great, you know, to everyone else, then it's all that matters. I mean, if I were doing this professionally, then I would seriously need to work on my presentation. But yeah, this should really, you know, make the ramen taste good. Normally ramens are spicy, but yeah, that's totally optional. I didn't make this one spicy though. I mean, I don't have issues with spicy food, but in this case, because it's a ramen, I enjoy it so much. Yeah, I want to take the heat off of it a bit. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now, while I'm waiting for the broth to finish, it has now, so switch that off. Now back to this. I'm going to place the bok choy that we cut up earlier into this bowl, and I'm gonna use a bit of soy sauce to drizzle a bit like that. And okay, so now I'm going to drizzle a bit of sesame oil, not too much because this stuff is quite potent too. Okay, then what we're going to do is cover the bowl with a bit of Glad wrap. Alright, so we've got it covered. Here's the Glad wrap, and we're going to put it in the microwave for about a minute at 1 minute intervals, and so as not to let it shrivel up, but we just want it to be soft so that it glides through your teeth when you bite into it. Alright, so now we're into the final preparations. Now I'm just chopping up some more spring onions. We just need 2 of these. Okay, so like that. And now we've got some boiled eggs that I've prepared earlier. Okay, so I'll soft boil these. There we go. That's looking really good. So while we're waiting for the bok choy to steam properly, I'm doing it in the microwave because it's quicker and whatnot. But yeah, it's all coming together. Alright, so we've now got the bok choy nice and steaming. I'm going to put it down now. It's very hot. Ouch! Alright, now in a bowl I've put in the ramen broth, and I'm going to add some noodles to it. Might add a bit more, and then put in some of the chicken, half a boiled egg, some of the radishes that I prepared earlier, and some bok choy, and finally spring onions, and voila! Nice chicken ramen. Okay, so what I've got here is a really nice honey Maid, happily donated by a really beautiful girl. It's a Kangaroo Island Maid. It goes really well served chilled. So yeah, this Maid, it comes from like the Kangaroo Island. That's west of Adelaide. I haven't visited that place yet, but I'd love to in the future. Sounds really lovely. You can't go wrong with this. Oh, that is good. And there you have it, folks. A delicious Japanese chicken ramen. Bon appetit.
Hitori pochi no yoru